Good morning and welcome, Seattle Unity. Congratulations. Mazel tov, you woke up early. I love you. There are going to be people here at the end of the service and they'll be coming in and being like, smile at them. Smile at them. Hello, online people. Can you stand as you are able, please? We're going to sing a song together. This is Ricky Byers. I Feel the Spirit Moving in Me. This the series that we're looking at includes mysticism. And one of those ideas is a direct connection with the divine and feeling that within yourself. So use this little stepping, touching, the spine moving around a little bit. It goes like this. I feel the Spirit moving in me. I feel the Spirit moving in me. That's it. I feel the Spirit moving in me. I feel the Spirit moving in me. If you like harmonies, sing them. I feel the Spirit moving in me. Yes. I feel the Spirit moving in me. Feel it moving? I feel the Spirit moving in me. Yeah, yeah. I feel the Spirit moving in me. Now say, I feel the presence. I feel the presence moving in me. Yes, I feel the presence moving in me. And I feel the power. I feel the power moving in me. Yes, I feel the power moving in me. And I feel the joy. I feel the joy moving in me. Yeah, yeah. I feel the joy moving in me. And I feel the Spirit. I feel the Spirit moving in me. Yeah, I feel the Spirit moving in me. Let us pray.
And so we take a moment to turn our attention within as we know the truth of our opening statement together. There is but one presence and one power in my life and in the universe, God the good omnipotence.
Let's do this next one for someone you know who is not in this room currently, but you can feel that with them. And we're going to say, I feel the love moving in me. Ready? I feel the love moving in me. I feel the love moving in me. Let it grow. I feel the love moving in me. Yeah, yeah. I feel the love moving in me. And I feel the Spirit. I feel the Spirit moving in me. I feel the Spirit moving in me. Yeah, yeah. I feel the Spirit moving in me. Last one. I feel the Spirit moving in me. Thank you. Please be seated.
Good morning. Happy daylight savings time. Thanks for waking up early. So I want to welcome everyone in-house and at home. And if you're watching from home, please type in where you're watching from so we can say hello to you at the end of the service. So I know there's a couple of new people here today, a couple of visitors. So if you're new here, please raise your hand so we can welcome you. And you're from Juneau, so we've got Juneau, Alaska. We got Tucson, Arizona. And where are you? San Francisco. Any new people that are local? No. Okay. Yes? You're local. Yay, local. But you guys can connect after the service. So we invite you to stay for coffee and tea and some snacks upstairs before you leave and just hang out and talk with people. So I want to let you know that today we're having a membership class orientation at 11:30 in the focus room. It's led by Reverend Diane Robertson. And even if you're just considering becoming a member or wondering what it's about, I invite you to go. And then also, Steve Piha is leading our writers group. Writer in Community in the conference room also starts at 11:30. And Dirk has an announcement from the outreach team.
Good morning. Once again, it's Outreach Sunday, which falls on every second Sunday of the month. We on this team reach out with your charitable contributions to local organizations such as, yet not limited to, Compass Housing Alliance, Youth Care, Mary's Place. You may give in the following ways. See Mike Harkness after the service in the lobby to accept checks, cash, gold bullion, things like that. Use the special donation option set up on Seattle Unity's website page and text to give. We will also be having an outreach meeting, a short one, upstairs after the service. Thank you for your continued support for our outreach programs. You are the backbone of our success.
And also next Sunday is St. Patrick's Day, and I believe we're having a special movie. You'll see it up on the screen when we move to our announcements. So let's all greet one another.
My favorite time of the morning, getting hugs. All right, continue to stay standing if you would. I'm gonna sing this one that I think most of you know. Forever God is faithful and strong and within us. Forever God is faithful. Forever God is strong. Forever God is with us. Forever. Forever, forever God is faithful. Forever God is strong. Forever God is with us. Forever, forever, forever God
Please be seated. We're coming into a more contemplative part of the service. In the center of every Unity service, we make time for a meditation where we share the silence together. So now's a great time to get yourself comfortable in your chairs. But our first step into this new contemplative space comes, we've got a lot of interfaith stuff going on today, and this is a very special treat this morning. This is Reg Oliver.
Thank you. The holy month of Ramadan begins tonight at sundown. And Reverend Karen asked me to say a few words, and we decided that we would give the first chapter of the Quran as the read today. But I want to say something just before I do this. I didn't know that today was the day that you could come to Unity and find out more about what it means to be part of Unity. I'm a Muslim. I lived in Mecca. I traveled the world, and I walked into a Unity church. And I sat, and I went for years. And then I said, let me go to this, find out what it's about. It was so compatible with my spirit and with everything I believe that I became a part of Unity almost 20 years ago. And my wife and I moved to Unity Village where she worked. And Unity is a very, very important part of my life. And Islam is an important part of my life. And Unity shines a special light. And so I just want to say that before I get into the read. The Quran is the holy book of Islam. It's the book of Islam as the Bible is to the Christians. The Quran, first chapter is the Fatiha. And the Fatiha is not, every religion has all these sects. You got the Shiite, and you got the Hanafi, and you have all these different sects. But all of them agree that the Fatiha is the first prayer. And when you become a Muslim, this is the first prayer that they teach you. Every Muslim, there are over 2 billion Muslims around the world getting ready for Ramadan now. And they face Mecca, and they pray, and they say this prayer that I'm going to say. They all billion, 5 times a day, facing the same spot, and all the vibrations going to the holy city of Mecca. In the holy city of Mecca, there's a mosque, the Mosque Sharif, where the Kaaba is. And everybody's facing there, and thank God I was able to visit there. So I could pray. I prayed to the east, and as you walk around the Kaaba, you could pray in every 360 degrees. You could only do that if you make Hajj. So that was a blessing that I had. So because we're in unity, we're going to speak on the prayer that unites Muslims. And unity people are already there, as far as I'm concerned. So let me. I'm going to first say it in Arabic. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الرحمن الرحيم. مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Amen. And the English translation, this Quran is here in Unity. It's in the library. It's one of the most fantastic Qurans I've ever seen. I've seen them all over the place. But it has so many different explanations of every ayat. So it's in the library. Every time I come, I I pick up this Quran and find something in it. So this is the Fatiha. All praise is due to God alone, the sustainer of all the worlds, the most gracious, the most merciful, Lord of the day of judgment. Thee alone do we worship, and unto thee alone do we turn for aid. Guide us on the straight way, the way upon those whom thou hast blessed, not the way of those who have gone astray. Amen.
Now we'll follow that with some moments of meditation. We'll start this by a chant that's familiar to most of you, Om Shanti. So if you'll let me sing it through once, and then please join me. Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om. Shanti
give me a sign. Show me where to look. Tell me what will I find. Lay me on the ground, fly me in the sky. Show me where to look. Tell me what will I find. What will I find? Give me a word, give me a sign. Show me where to look, tell me what will I find. What will I find? Lay me on the ground and fly me in the sky. Show me where to look, tell me what will I find. What will I find? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, heaven, let your light shine down. 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 Love is in the water, love is in the air. Show me where to look and tell me will love be there? Will love be there? Teach me how to speak, teach me how to share. Teach me where to go, tell me will love be there? Will love be there? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, heaven, let your light shine down. 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 Give me a word, give me a sign. Show me where to look, tell me what will I find. What will I find?
Todd Kimbrough and the band.
Aren't we lucky to have such great musicians? Let's give them. Thank you. So this talk today, and actually the theme for the year Generations, is actually inspired by a song called The Ladder by Stuart Davis, which is going to be sung after my talk. And what's interesting is if you Google The Ladder for a song and song lyrics, it's like the last song that comes up. It's very difficult to find. But it asks a question about our spiritual evolution. Some of the lyrics are, I've got brains like antique floors, and I built each one on the one before. I use all three, but they don't agree. So this speaks to the different levels of which we operate constantly. We can be loving and kind, and we can be mean and dismissive. He goes on to say, the higher that we climb, the more the ladder sways. In other words, there's more at stake. So with the discovery of the atom bomb, we know that we can't have a nuclear war, but the threat is there, and we still have war. So The smarter that we are, the more we evolve, the more that is at stake, the more the ladder sways. So the image of a ladder or a stairway is common across cultures throughout time. And I think, most recently you think of Stairway to Heaven, even though it's really not about heaven, but, you get that image anyway. But it's common across all cultures and all time. It's found in Buddhism, Judaism, Islam, Christianity, Hinduism. In Christianity, the image is alluded to when Jesus is transfigured at the top of the mountain. Scripture says, his face shone like the sun, and his clothes became as white as the light. And just then there appeared before them Moses and Elijah talking with Jesus. So this is one of the images that we're going to be looking at today. So as Reggie read this wonderful prayer for us, Ramadan begins with the new moon, which is happening very soon. And it's considered one of the holiest months of the year for Muslims. Muslims fast from pre-dawn to sunset, which lasts around 11 to 16 hours for about 30 days. So it's a time to train both physically and spiritually by avoiding negative acts such as gossiping, backbiting, lying, arguing. And it's a time for self-reflection and spiritual improvement and a means to grow in moral excellence. And it's interesting that it kind of correlates the same time as Lent, right? Where you're supposed to fast, where you're supposed to give up some negative behaviors and focusing on the light. So the ultimate goal of this is gaining a greater God consciousness. Thank you, Mark. Mark is bringing me prayers. You can just put him on that chair. Thanks. So I want to begin looking at the ladder, and I don't have an image for this, but I want to begin with Muhammad's ladder since it's Ramadan. And the book of Muhammad's ladder is an account of Muhammad's night journey and ascent to heaven and hell. So he's transported up the ladder by the angel Gabriel, and he visits the 7 heavens. He experiences a face-to-face vision and experience of God, and there he is granted the power to intercede on behalf of believers on Judgment Day. But after he goes to the 7 levels of heaven, he then descends into the 7 regions of hell. And it's possible that this is the source of Dante's Inferno, that he read the Muhammad's ladder and then created the Dante's Inferno. So the ladder is an image of ascending and descending, and in this case it can symbolize traveling from a higher consciousness to a lower consciousness. So when we're in the 7 heavens, we're kind, we're compassionate, we're wise, but when we descend to the 7 regions of hell, we can be mean, we can be greedy, we can be divisive. And sometimes we move from the consciousness of heaven to the consciousness of hell in the same day, maybe the same hour, maybe even the same minute. So I'd like you to look at this image. This is Buddhism, and this is an image of the Buddha who is descending from heaven on a ladder or a staircase. So the story behind this is that when the Buddha was 7 days old, his mother died. And it said that all Buddhas must teach the Dharma to their parents so that they can awaken and enlighten them. Well, his mother had died, so he wasn't able to, give her this teaching. And so after he was enlightened under the Bodhi tree, Buddha ascended into the heaven of the 33 to teach his mother the sacred text. So he goes to visit his mom. So after 3 months, one of the Buddha's disciples entered a deep samadhi and visited Buddha in the heavenly realm, and he said, hey, the disciples want you to return to earth and continue teaching humans. And so in this image, we see the Buddha descending from heaven of the 33, and he's accompanied by angelic beings and teaching his disciples. And we see that there is a large crowd of devotees who are gathered to wait for his return. So again, we see this image of the lifting up of consciousness of heaven and earth. So one of the things that the ladder can symbolize is the rising of our chakras. Because when we meditate sometimes, it depends on, where you're at. Sometimes it's helpful to meditate on the power chakra because you need strength. Sometimes on the heart so that you can be compassionate and kind. Sometimes the throat that you need to speak the word. Or the top of the head, which is the crown chakra. And that's kind of what all this symbolizes. And of course, we need the root chakra and the second chakra to ground us in our humanness as well. So again, the top of the head is the crown chakra, and it's said that, when you meditate, sometimes you can feel it opening. Anybody ever feel that when you're meditating? And it also correlates with Charles Fillmore, one of the founders of Unity, when he was talking about the 12 powers, particularly the power of faith and imagination. Because Charles Fillmore said faith is located in the pineal gland between the eyebrows, and the imagination is like in the middle of the cortex. So again, you see this bringing this consciousness to the mind, to the head, but you can't leave out the heart, you can't leave out the rest of it, but it's this climbing upward. So you can drop the image for a minute. So Buddha ascended to the heaven of the 33, and I thought, okay, so what's the heaven of the 33? I never heard of that before. So it comes from a story about a man named Magha the Good. And he lived in a village with 30 families. So I don't know where the 33 comes from, but I don't know. Anyway, Magna was always trying to improve the village for the good of all. And he had a way of teaching by doing rather than speaking. So an example is people are gathered together because they're going to build this town. And so he cleans a space for him to sit. And before he can sit, somebody sits there. So he gets up and he cleans another space and he goes to sit and somebody sits there. And he does this over and over again until everybody's gathered and he's cleared the space for everybody. And he's just patient. He doesn't say a word and he just sits in the last place. But by using examples of patience, Magha the Good taught everybody how to cooperate with each other without fighting. So working this way, the village prospered. Everything was great, except there was one guy in town that didn't like it. And surprisingly, he was the local politician. And he cared only about his own position. And so when there were murders, when there were thefts, when people did things wrong, he was able to say how they should be punished, and he could find them. So he was prospering off of all of this as well. So it increased his position of authority, and the villagers feared him. So he wasn't happy that everybody was getting along. So he went to the king, and he said, there's a lot of criminals in this town, and I think that you need to deal with this. So the king says, well, bring them to me, because we need to handle this. So he gathers together 30 leaders of their households, and even without questioning, the king orders them all to be put to death, to be trampled by the elephants. So they're ordered to lie down in the palace courtyard, and here comes the elephants. And Magna the Good said to them, hey, just concentrate on peacefulness, on purity, on loving kindness. And so the elephants were brought in, and no matter what the trainers tried to do, the elephants would not trample the villagers. And the politician said, well, these men must be magicians who have cast an evil spell on your elephants. And he said, what is the spell and how does it work? And Magha said, we cast the spell of loving kindness. And the elephants would not trample them. He said, in this way we have become harmless, so that we can give the gift of fearlessness to all. Therefore the elephants lost their fear and did not wish to harm us, and they departed trumpeting triumphantly. This was our protection, which you have called a spell. So the king decided to confiscate the property of the dishonest village man and divide it amongst everyone. And of course, then the village prospered even more and everybody got along. So I think this is a story for us today. Let's just look at this story. We teach best by example more than by what we say. It's what we do. So the villagers are working together for the good of all, and everyone was happy except the man who profited by crime, dishonesty, and division. And this seems to be a metaphor for what we are seeing playing out in the world today. The more divisive, the more inflammatory, the more outrageous the comments that are made by our leaders, the more clicks they get. The more drama, the more clicks. The more we want to read the story, the more we want to see it, the more we want to know what's going on. And it's painful to see the divide and the meanness that has taken over, particularly in the political dialogue. So may we be like the villagers in the heaven of the 33 and practice loving kindness and compassion and begin to heal this divide that seems to exist. That's painful. Isn't it painful to observe? So if we could have another image. So this is Jacob's ladder, and this one might be the one that you are most familiar with. You can see Jacob is down there sleeping on the ground, and this is found in the book of Genesis in the Old Testament. Now Jacob was a younger twin, and he tricked his brother out of his birthright, his brother Esau. So he had to leave town in a hurry because his brother was big, and was going to come after him. And he found a place to sleep, and he put a rock under his head, and he fell asleep. And in Genesis 28, we read, he came to a certain place, and he stayed there for the night because the sun had set. And taking out one of the stones, he put it under his head and lay down. And he dreamed that there was a ladder set up on the earth, the top of it reaching to heaven, and the angels of God were ascending and descending on it. And the Lord appears to him and tells him that he'll have many descendants. So he has like this vision of his future and his place in history. And he woke from his sleep and he said, surely the Lord is in this place, and I didn't know it. Surely the Lord is in this place, and I didn't know it. You ever felt like that? Like the Lord is everywhere. God is everywhere. Omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient. There's nowhere we can be where God is not. So Ed Rabel is a unity metaphysician, and he compares also the rungs of the ladder to the chakras. And he said, we move constantly upward as we become more and more expressive of our true spirit and our spiritual nature. It's important to realize that the energy, like the angels, flows in both directions. We don't leave our lower chakras behind. We transform them through the spiritual awareness we receive as we move higher. When the soul is ready, it will have the same dream and inner vision. The top of the ladder was in heaven. The foot of the ladder rested on earth. The ladder then becomes a connecting link between heaven and earth. So metaphysically, this means we are in heaven and earth at the same time, depending on our outlook. Next image. So the image then of the ladder has seemed to have morphed into a spiral. This is from Spiral Dynamics, and it feels like for me it's leading from all the ladder myth and imageries and stories from across cultures that it's come to this. In 1952, a man named Clare Graves began work on what was called the theory of levels of human existence. And the goal was to explain why people's reactions and motivations are so varied. And he created a 7-level thinking model, which morphed into Spiral Dynamics. Now, 2 authors named Beck and Cohen, they're pioneers in this field, used a number of examples from nature, such as seashells, ribbons of DNA, and galaxies. He says, spirals are alive, magical, powerful, and multidimensional. Spirals can be said to reflect the nature of thought. sometimes returning to the same place, but eventually progressing, being expansive, open-ended, continuous, dynamic. The spiral is a model that both visually and functionally represents the evolutionary development of consciousness. Each upward turn of the spiral marks the awakening of a more elaborate version on top of what already exists. And in one instance, we're operating at the top, but the next we're operating at the bottom. So we can go all the way from being holistic to shrinking down to instinctive, and not that it's bad, but instinctive and survival. You know, there's merit to being in the magical realm, right? To seeing the world as divine, which is what is seen in the purple. And the red becomes more impulsive, egocentric. You know, it's where, you know, we want to fight. And again, we fall into all these different levels at different times. Blue is we're purposeful, it's laws that we need in order to live and be together. And orange is our achieving, green is the community, being together in community and unity. We would say that this is green. And then we become integrative, and then we wake up holistic. The challenge is that we go, again, from the top to the bottom in the course of a day, in an hour, in a minute. We're shifting, and the difference is that there's more at stake. So the ladder is a symbol that crosses time and culture. And I want to return to the song by Stuart Davis. He says, I have the head of Einstein and the soul of Pol Pot. There's no compassion, but I can split the atom. If Ramana Maharshi came from clay, then there's more to evolution than DNA. If Mother Teresa came from clay, then there's more to evolution than DNA. The higher that we climb, the more the spiral, the ladder sways. So we can no longer give in to our lesser natures because there is so much at stake. And we see both sides playing out every day, from uncommon acts of kindness and generosity that take my breath away to acts of cruelty, atrocity, and horror. You can see them all in the same hour, right? Just Googling. And I think this is one of the reasons that spiritual community is vital, because it gives us an arena to practice spiritual principles with people of like mind so that we can carry it out into our regular lives. We can carry it out in our home. We can carry it out at work. We can carry it out with our families. So this is like a lab. It's an experiment. It's a place to practice these spiritual principles together and to, well, it's gone, but that's fine. So that we can rise into the different levels of consciousness, so that we can experience more of the 7 levels of heaven and less the 7 regions of hell. And that we are these spiritual beings, as Ed Rabel says, we live simultaneously in heaven and on earth. And it's just this constant movement backwards and forwards. So when he sings the ladder, I invite you to really listen to the lyrics, because they're a little rough. Thank you. So Reverend Diane Robertson is going to be speaking next week. She's been to Ireland, so we're going to be hearing probably about the mysticism of Ireland. I'm speaking for you, Diana. I don't know what you're going to talk about. I'm guessing. Okay, so let's just take a moment as we turn our attention within, as we focus on our offering, whether we give by check, cash, whether we give through the internet and or the text number, which is the easiest way to give. I find that works the best. Let us bless our gift with these words. I give willingly, joyfully, and lovingly, knowing that God is the constant source of my supply. I give with graciousness and receive with gratitude.
got brains like antique floors. I build each one on the one before. I use all three, but they don't agree. One of them wants to love you, the other one would love to club you. I guess my old natures move like glaciers. The fish became a lizard, the shrew became an ape. Will the ape become an angel? The higher that we climb, the more the ladder sways. The higher that we climb, the more the ladder sways, the more the ladder sways. I'm the bastard child, the one who got the brain of Einstein and the soul of Popeye. And then rubber stardom. Better give me a microscope for a different eye. Better give me a telescope for the inward sky, and a ladder leading up from Eden. They became a lizard, the shrew became an ape. Will the ape become an angel? The higher that we climb, the more the ladder sways. The higher that we climb, the more the ladder sways, the more the ladder sways. Every reminder I see came from play. There's more to evolution than a little DNA. Cut off the moorings to the inward heart, aiming into a question mark. The fish became a lizard, the shrew became an ape. Will the ape become a Mother Teresa? She came from play. There's more to evolution than a little DNA.
So will chaplains come stand with me as we do our prayers? Thank you. So let's put a final blessing on our offering. So we dedicate and consecrate these gifts to the will, the work, and the way of the living Spirit of truth. We are grateful for the generosity of each giver and know that it returns to you a millionfold, and we are grateful. Amen. So we want to say hi to those watching from Shasta County, Greenwood, Metter, Georgia, that must be Nancy, Mount Lake Terrace, Newport, Oregon, Spokane, Federal Way, Edmonds, Southworth, West Lynn, Louise, West Seattle, Southern California, Corvallis, and Tacoma. So let's take a moment as we move to our hearts. And so we speak the word. We hold in our prayers and send the light to Inez and Carmen for healing. We see the Spirit of God going before Grace, bringing her wisdom and order. We hold and we bless April and Randy, Larry, Sabrina and David C. We take a deep breath and send this light to Amy, Vaughn, Rick, Mike, Gus, Bill, Brooke, Alan, Patrick, and Barbara, to Steve and Shirley, John, Kathy, and Kelly, to Jackie, Martha, George, Lynn, and Ellen. Anyone else who comes to mind, I invite you to speak their names now. And so we join in our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Yes, it is. Thank you, Heather. Let's stand and sing a closing song together. You're invited to hold hands. You're also allowed to say, like, no thanks, I don't want to hold hands right now because I have the plague, or I just don't feel like holding your hand. You can easily say no, but we invite you to say yes. Remember, there is coffee and tea upstairs right after the service, and then at 11:30, there's a membership information meeting with Diane, who's awesome, which you're allowed to go to even if you're not going to be a member. If you just want to know, like, what's this all about? This is my first day. You're allowed to go do that, and Diane is really cool. You'll enjoy that. And at 11:30 also, Steve is doing the writing class.
Both on the first floor.
Both on the first floor, and we hope to see you at one of these things. Those classes are the best way to really get to know people, other people, because we tend to not wear name badges. So you need a class to get connected. Let's try loving kindness. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. Now we can say, may you. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. And may you be happy. And now, may we. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. And may we be happy. Now try, may all.